right, welcome everybody to round 3. We've got AlexFiero at the bottom of your screen. We've got Cananada up at the top. Looks like both players on a keep here. Cananada's hand looks incredibly aggressive. 1-1-1-1 plus League Explorer. I like that.
Choosing to not lead on a 1 is kind of interesting, so you get to play 2 1s instead of 1 and 1. So you net deal less damage unless if you choose exactly to play League Explorer. So just putting a premium on attacking for Virtual 4 on the next turn instead of just having some small cheap shots.
Both players have incredibly aggro hands here.
Just going back and forward. Ships passing in the night. No blocking, only attacking.
Both players goldfishing here. I don't care what you do. I'm attacking. I'm A-spacing. And I will get more depth charges off. Cananada, multiple. That's 3 depth charges on Cananada's side here already.
Yep, but all's going to be halted once, this auto turret comes down, offing one of them, and then growing up.
This actually works really well, right? Because now you can discard 2 cards, you can ping for 2, that'll kill one of the League Explorers, and then making it a 3-3 will let you block the other one. Yeah,
and one thing Cananada's deck definitely lacks is removal spells. You just try to kill the opponent. So it's actually really hard to get through this 3-3. And then normally discarding cards would be bad, but for AlexFiero and the double D'Angelo Houndmaster, it's actually to your advantage to be able to empty your hand. One thing that also kind of stinks for Cananada is that the Darkwater Vines are a lot less potent than they normally would be with their regen turned off from the auto tread.
True. Good point. Being just a vanilla 2-1 that can get pinged off by auto tread is not nice. Makes that card a lot worse.
So interesting. So if you attack, you're like threatening your own auto tread. I think you actually have to attack to win the game.
Yeah.
If they call, I think like you were gonna lose anyways. It's like this game's not getting any better for you. So like if you just play your faceless one something else, then AlexFiero can just off those 2 with the auto tread. I think you just gotta bluff attack and hope that they value the auto tread more than your ability to auto tread it back.
Yeah, that's a good point. AlexFiero gonna recognize that attack and gonna let it through. Now this is an interesting situation. So if you're in Canada's shoes?
Oh, I apologize. I missed the combust in Canada's list. So you can still answer the auto tread, but
yeah,
I still think you had to attack there given what your hand was.
Yeah, AlexFiero gonna discard the Daheen Blitz. That's way too expensive for what's going on right here. And like you said, just gonna go ahead and pick off that Darkwater Vines. No regen thanks to the special text on auto tread.
I do think I would have preferred to just play both Darkwater Vines and try to hit some like faceless ones to like make the race maybe come back in your favor, but they're all kind of interchangeable. Which one drops you choose to play here?
Yeah, Houndmaster, good card, but Canada kind of far away from dumping their hand right now, and they're gonna be dead in a couple turns to what AlexFiero's got going on.
Yeah, you kind of just gotta keep on playing 2 things. Hopefully you can draw a power, that way next time something tries to get hit, you can sack it to the recycle.
Make that same attack this time, not going to threaten a ping because it's not going to take down that 5/5. I guess you could threaten play Flash Fry or anything. You just have the combust, right? So no Flash Fry.
Just combust and the auto tread line from last time.
Right.
I think you just gotta play 2 things and ship it back. It's like the problem is everything feels terrible. So what this line is getting the extra depth charge. And
yeah, just getting the depth charge. Yeah.
Well, and then you just recycle.
All right. I mean, you do get the depth charge there, so that's 10 virtual damage that Cananada has. So if Cananada can figure out a way to get 5 more damage through, they can win off depth charge. But the problem is going to be how do you get 5 more damage through?
Right, but it does make some sort of urgency on AlexFiero's side to end the game. Like, imagine if it's like an auto tread that gets like a cheeky shot in and stuff like that. Or like some random like Beacon of War just like barely getting in some damage like 2 or 3 turns from now.
Wow, look at this though. Can totally sacrifice the entire hand to wipe out the 3 Grenadin, make it an 8, and then follow up, and that's going to be 8 damage. That's going to put
Yep.
Cananada down to 2. Those depth charges pack a punch.
Yeah, I like this line a lot from AlexFiero. It's like the only way, like, you can just cover all your bases through like any
Dynamite
sort of
attack for sure. And that's going to be it. Cananada going to be stopped short on that one. AlexFiero going to get that quick win there.
Yeah, so the only way out of that one for Cananada is like 1-drop. You need to like somehow draw power, play a 1-drop and double combust. But like if they had 1 combust, they would have already killed the auto tread. So you just know that that can't. And if they like had a power, they would have played it. So you just know that none of those cards in their hand. So like you can glance over the list, take the few seconds, but then just realize you got it locked. AlexFiero's list pretty sweet. I always appreciate reading whatever list AlexFiero chooses to come up with. So here you have a pretty interesting mid-range deck. You have very powerful 2s and like the Houndmaster if you have to play it on 2, but League Explorer and Power Cell. You have Javon and Sandy Scorcher. So you kind of have things just all the way up to the Dehan Blitz or an intrigued Sandy Scorcher. And this deck's pretty cool because you have a lot of flexibility in what your cards do. So your auto treads can make use of your cards that cost a lot of power when you're trying to be aggressive, like that game. Javon makes use of a lot of power when you don't have a lot of threats because you could just draw cards with it. So it makes it such that just every card is good.
All right, game 2 here. AlexFiero up 1 game. Cananada's going to be on the play and also hit the board first with that League Explorer. Going to get a depth charge set up to go. But AlexFiero's got a nice hand as well as a League Explorer of their own, plus a Searing Strike and 2 copies of Javon. So not quite as hyper aggro as we saw the first game, but Searing Strike, wow, we're seeing taken full ability there. Let me read this text to you. Silence the unit, deal 2 damage to it. If it dies, replenish 2 power. So AlexFiero was able to take out Cananada's League Explorer, get that 2 power replenished, and play a League Explorer of their own. Yeah, the chicken's out here. That's a 1/3 lifesteal. That'll be a little bit of a pause for AlexFiero, but yeah, pretty good.
Well, not drawing another power is kind of rough for AlexFiero,
Yeah.
but another, one of your best 2 drops, so that's a good consolation prize.
It is pretty funny here that the attacks here, even though you gain 1 health from the Grenahen, you're still netting damage because you're getting more depth. Like the depth charge from the attack is greater than the 1 health gained from the Grenahen.
Exactly. So it's like a 2, it's like a 2/2 that deals an invisible 2 damage
Yeah.
also, or like an unblockable 2 damage.
Right.
So for Canada, just kind of evaluating, maybe you can do to AlexFiero what they did to you last game.
Yeah, but here we go. We're gonna see.
It's like, oh, you have 2 League Explorers. You have 2 League Explorers. I guess I'll play Auto Tread, discard 2, and kill one of them, and now you can't attack unless you want to bluff attack me.
Which honestly, your own medicine right there.
Well, the funny part is, honestly, I don't think Cananada would have blocked with their auto tread for the same reason they attacked last game.
Right.
So they have to leave the Grenahen back if they know that that's happening every time. And then
AlexFiero see the attack right back.
Yeah, you did this last game. I just have to do this now.
Love it.
But with the Grenahen, so I like this double block. So what this double block is able to do is the times where there is an auto tread follow up, at least you got 1 life as a consolation prize.
Yeah.
And ultimately, calling the bluff. So you make the bluff, you call the bluff.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, credit to Cananada. Make the bluff on your side and then call the bluff on the other side is great.
Yeah, I love gamesmanship in games. It just means so much to me, and I think it's great.
You're gonna draw. Oh man, create and draw a random sentinel. I'm gonna get a 7-cost 7/7.
Random sentinel, indeed.
I don't think that's the one we wanted to hit there.
Yeah, so the problem for AlexFiero there is they have to pillage, because if the auto tread is able to just discard and get out of range of Javon blocking, then like what are you really doing with your turn cycle?
Look at that. That's getting down to 1 card. Remember, look at the hand cam that we've got pulled up there for you. Getting down to 1 card with 1 power left over to be able to get a hound on that turn too. You gotta love when you get to play out on curve, play out your units, and then you just happen to have 1 power left over, and it's like, oh, that's a free 4/4.
Yeah, so keeping a 2 power hand for AlexFiero and just not going well, it's kind of what you sign up for. It's just how it goes sometimes. And even having a very power efficient 2 where you got to play Searing Strike into League Explorer But, that's why we play 2 out of 3. That way, hopefully the third game ends up just being something where, uh, Canada kind of stalled a little, not finding Primal and not finding their third power for a while, and then AlexFiero not being able to find their third power. So all I want for this third game for both players to find their third power.
Well,
Not so
Cananada
much to ask for.
snap keeping here. Their hand of 4 power Auto Tread League Explorer Dark Water Vines. I don't think AlexFiero is going to keep this one. It's interesting. Auto Tread and League Explorer are very good, but the other 3 are very expensive to have in your starting hand.
You also don't curve out that well unless if you're planning on holding the auto tread. I do think most of your 6s are,
Yeah,
or
it's unfortunate because the 1-2 there are really good, but
yeah.
All right, now we're keeping a hand with Blueprint's Searing Strike, League Explorer, Opum's Technique. Not the best starting hand for AlexFiero, but it's definitely playable.
Yeah, it lines up. So that Canada's deck plays a ton of 1-drops, so you're probably just gonna be able to like off the 1-drop with the Searing Strike, and then you could just jam your League Explorer again if you want to. You also just play the League Explorer and hold it, but that's a good silence target. It's not an auto tread, but I would also just play the League Explorer here, but just like kind of saying like that's not the most important card here, and I have a lot of appreciation for that. And probably will get rewarded by being able to kill the Auto Treader League Explorer instead. So, pretty awesome stuff.
All right, 5-drop off the top. Now, AlexFiero, I mean, those are potentially castable if AlexFiero can hit some power. We're spinning the Sentinel wheel again and gonna get a Drifting Drone. And then the Searing Strike is gonna be able to take out the League Explorer and get that Drifting Drone down. Relics in the Void, but these... Okay, so when these go off, is that gonna get huge?
Yeah.
It might not happen this game because AlexFiero has 2 5-drops, but it might. I mean, with an auto tread or something else, that might get huge.
It's true. So we get to see the auto tread plus Dark Water Binds combo here. So being able to off the League Explorer, and then you get to attack for 2 with your vines, and then you're actually a lot closer to getting the invasive species from your market. So AlexFiero is in a spot where Javan, I think, needs double time if I recall correctly. I might be wrong. Let me double check.
All right, well, that's a hit for you. So finally a good hit for AlexFiero off of the random Sentinel spin. Gonna get a Sentinel Sifter that's a 3/3 for 4. Ultimate, pay 5 to give one of your units double damage. I mean, it's not the greatest unit in the world, but at least it's a hit.
Yeah, I take back what I said previously. Giovanna's only single time, so that would have been a fine draw too. But yeah, so being able to still curve up a little. So what you can kind of do here, if you want to, is you can, I guess, you can like ping once and then attack with both of your units. But that might not be a good strategy long term. You could like play the Dark Water Vines, combust, play your sketch, and then like play the market.
Yeah, the invasive species.
The invasive species, yeah. Or you can like play the sketch and activate. So there's a lot of decisions to make here.
Well, the invasive species isn't great in the face of a 3/3, right? Isn't it?
Well, I'm saying if you like combust the 3.
If you combust, yeah, you combust and then do it.
Yeah. So it's this line that I was.
I guess you have to do that anyway to get the bargain, right? So either way.
Yeah. This was the line that was not so well explaining, or not explaining so well, but.
All right, that works well. All right, so that's
depleted power. Ooh, that hurt.
Depleted power. That would have been nice to get that blitz on, but now Cananada has an interesting question where they drew a power. I think you just fire that face and make your auto tread a 4/4.
You just gotta do the math on how the clock lines up. Like by holding it, you get to off any 2. Like
right, or you hold
like
it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Or you hold it and you just say whatever the next thing you draw, you can ping 2.
In your deck of all 1-drops, the only thing that punches you for holding this is Crafty Occultist. This line's kind of weird. It's like the worst of both worlds, unless if you really don't want them to attack with or block with their O2.
Yeah. Unless, of course, you change your mind. I think that's I may have mentioned this on coverage before, but I think there's a very interesting, when you're leveling up as a player, the lesson of if you change your mind or if you make a mistake or you think that something else is a better play, not to be afraid to make it, even if it looks bad on camera. So if Cananada says, no, I'm going to hold it for 2, makes the attacks, and then afterwards says, oh, actually, you know what? I think it's better to ping 1 here instead of hold it. Now, in this specific case, I think you probably can hold it anyway because you can always ping next turn, but I do think there's something to be said for if you change your mind and you think that a different play would have been better, you can still make that play. Don't not make it just because you're embarrassed that, like, oh, I should have done it before.
Yeah, I've said this both on like when I did coverage last time and on the most recent Misplay podcast, just a small plug there. That I don't think I've played a game recently where I haven't made a mistake. Like, I make mistakes literally every game, and I always try to learn from it. I always try to see it, and I always try to be better next time. But like, if you consider me a reasonable player, and I'm saying I make a mistake every game and I try to learn, like, I am good at bouncing back from it. I'm good at like doing a reasonable line, but I know I make mistakes every game. So it's like I have a huge amount of respect for that.